Hello everyone, nubkeks here, welcome back to Nub Raids, and it is time for round 2 of the extra legendary event. We are here on a viewer's account, Void Yagosh, and we are going to be pulling for this extra legendary for him. We've got 242 ancient shards in the bank, so no matter how well he has tracked or not tracked his pity timer, it does not matter. We are getting a legendary here today. Might have to pause the video to feed some champions if we need it. And yeah, basically, what sort of stuff is he hoping to get here? The way this works, if you haven't seen it, when we pull a legendary, and we will pull a legendary, we're going to get a second one for free as well. It's pretty much, I think, even without counting the mercy timer, it might be the best source overall for maximizing legendary champions. Certainly, when you do start to play around your mercy timer, this is the best. In terms of bulk, in terms of quantity of legendary. The quality can vary, but the quantity of legendaries, this is the way. He is looking for a Geomancer, another Geomancer. I think a third one he says he's looking for. Hoping for champions, then legendaries. Lysandra, Duchess. He's also looking for just any good damage dealing champions, especially anything that happens to have a block revive on it. So let's see what we can do. He doesn't mind dupes either, totally happy with duplicate champions. Faction Guardians, he needs a lot of them. Really looking to get deep into Faction Guardians to unlock speed. We're pretty late here in the game, so he's really looking to maximize those stats across his champs. We got a bunch of rares to start us off. Really no surprise, expecting to pretty much see mostly rares. I actually got pretty lucky in my own pulls, and I was getting a lot of epics. Looks like I used up all the epic luck on my account. That's a bit unfortunate. We're now into epic mercy as well, which is funny. I wonder what happens if epic mercy and legendary mercy hit 100% at the same time. Does the universe explode? Oh my, another bunch of rares. Ugh, no epics to be seen. This is insane. There we go. That must have... I legit think that was probably 100% epic mercy, which is hilarious. Deacon Armstrong, of course, one of the most highly sought out epics in the game. He has turn meter manipulation with an extra turn, which really opens up a lot of, well, it's great for arena, and it's especially good for Demon Lord Clan Boss. Opens up lots of comps, adjust your speeds for that. And then AoE decrease defense, 3 turn cooldown, but because he has a 3 turn cooldown extra turn move, basically every 2 turns he's going to do time compression into AoE decrease defense. So it's the shortest cooldown, practically speaking, for decreased defense in the game. And then he's got a good chance for leech on the A1, speed in all battles aura as well. Just a fantastic champion, really strong. Here we go, let's go again. Another epic. Okay, we've broken the epic curse. This is good. Another epic. There we go. The rates have turned back on. All right, cool. Chinoru, I actually really like her design. I think she's super badass. And like with her fairly straightforward color scheme, you know, she seems quite realistic as well. I really like her. I really like Karato, just in terms of their visuals. That still very much a fantasy visual, but also much more realistic. Jareg, actually very good. Chinoru's not very good. Jareg is excellent. Continuous heals when allies lose a big chunk of max HP in one hit. He is fantastic. I think he's actually quite good for getting into Hydra. Not bad if you can stop the heals being stolen. But he's exceptionally good for some Doom Tower stuff. So Eternal Dragon springs to mind. Eternal Dragon locks out your skills. Jareg pumps out a ton of healing when that happens. He's pretty much part of all the budget teams who are doing that. Ally protection, increased defense for your team, decreased attack A1. Fantastic for early game, killable clan boss teams. Not even, just any killable clan boss teams, excuse me. He's fantastic. And Eternal Dragon. Old Hermit Yorg, also an incredible champ. Increased attack and turn meter boost. So he's a kind of mini arbiter for that first chunk of the game. Exceptionally good at it. HP burn on his A1. And then some revives on his A3. So yeah, just a great kit overall. He's going to, again, do a lot of what Arbiter's going to do. Just a general, incredibly useful support across the board. Super good for Arena, really good for Hydra, great for Doom Tower. Yeah, pretty much everything Arbiter does, this guy is going to be good in those areas as well. Obviously, Faction Wars, he's insanely strong too. That increased attack for Orcs is big. They have a lot of attack champs. Back to a bunch of rares. All right, let's go again. We're going to hit some... We're going to hit our champion limit here. We're going to have to go throw some stuff in the vault. No, we're not, because... Oh, okay. There we go. All right. 2 really cool legendaries. So, Danag Skullery. People don't like Danag. But you know what? I think he's actually kind of cool. Number one, visually, absolute badass. He looks unbelievably cool. These are actually grenades, so he throws the grenades, which is kind of awesome. So his A1 can place decreased defense with a really good chance to place decreased defense if the enemies are under fear. His A2, Bane of Elves. This is what I like. It's an AoE attack. When booked, it's a 3-turn cooldown when booked, 75 bucks to 100% chance of putting decreased accuracy for 2 turns, and true fear for 1 turn, and high elves and dark elves cannot resist these debuffs. Why do I think this guy is so cool? What is one of the hardest champions now to fight in Arena that everybody can get, and everyone should get? And watch my Hydra videos if you haven't. Spoiler, it's Mithrala Lifebane, obviously enough. Mithrala, she turns her accuracy into resistance. So kind of gear for gear, if you are against an equally geared opponent, it's extremely, extremely hard to actually debuff Mithrala. And that is a huge problem because she can then come in and cleanse her team, give them a big shield, give them strengthen. Extremely problematic. You can use increased accuracy to actually debuff her. That's a really good strategy. There's not many champs that give increased accuracy. You've got Kimmy, Yoshi, or you're kind of really scraping the barrel at that point. This guy, though, Danag Skullreap, she cannot resist this. And neither can Arbiter. I think those two things together actually are super useful. I think that's super useful. Guaranteed decreased accuracy on Mithrala. Cuts her accuracy and resistance in half. You're going to fear her as well. You're going to fear Arbiter. You're probably going to decrease accuracy and true fear, whatever their damage dealer is as well. I think it's a good move. I think this guy's super underrated. I think just generally speaking, I think people underrate, unless they are the best nuker, unless you are the literal hardest hitting nuker in the game, or, you know, within 2 or 3 places of that person, they get really neglected. I think Orcs really stands out just in general as a faction that has lots of nukers that aren't the best, and therefore people just could dismiss them entirely. Battle Flow then is A3. 4-turn cooldown when booked. Attacks one enemy, ignores shields. Again, sort of Mithrala thing. Decreases the cooldown of the skill by 2 turns. Gives him turn meter 30%. 30% increased crit damage for 2 turns if he kills an enemy. It's just going to sort of help, again, ripping through those Mithrala style champions. And then heals him by half of his max HP every time he kills an enemy, and gives an extra turn every time he kills an enemy from high elf or dark elf factions. So again, I really do think, you know, you're going up against those Arbiter or Mithrala type teams. This guy's pretty badass, right? He's going to start ripping those apart. Yep, I think he's pretty cool. I actually think he's pretty cool, and nobody ever talks about him. Now, someone that obviously everyone talks about, Bad Alcazar, absolutely fantastic legendary. I don't think he's quite top 10 in the game, but certainly I've seen people argue that he even is still to this day. He's really, really good. All allies do 20% more damage against targets under poison, so nice damage boost, but it's really his A2 that's very special. 3-turn cooldown, full team cleanse, 2 continuous heals on all allies for 2 turns, and 2 poisons on all enemies for 2 turns. His A1's an AoE that heals. This doesn't do too much. He has a very nice crit rate in all battles aura. So really what you do with Bad El is the king, pretty much, of soloing Dragon and Ice Golem, because he removes any debuffs he happens to get. He heals himself, and he puts out AoE poisons. He just does everything. It's the very, very safe. And you can build some pretty cool speed teams, in fact, using his crit rate aura to amp up the rest of your damage more. Fun stuff like that. The fact that he does the continuous heals means you can put him in with Seer, and he's going to really reduce the gearing requirements of your Seer if you want to pop him in your Seer teams. He's going to be good for Doom Tower Hard and lots of those bosses. He's just amazing. He's an amazing champ. Really, really strong. Yeah, I personally don't quite put him in the top 10 for me, because although he's really good for some of that dungeon stuff, I think he's not that relevant in endgame arena or for Hydra, like some of that hardest content in the game. But for wave-based content and dungeon bosses, where that poison stuff really counts, this guy is absolutely awesome and super easy to build him. He makes your team easy to build, all of that good stuff. So there we go, guys. Danag, Skullreap, and Bad Alcazar. Would you be happy with those pulls? I don't have either of these champions, and I would have been really happy if these were my pulls as well. I think that would have been super fun. So there we go. We still have some spaces left. He still has 172 Ancients in the bank. He's better off than me. Well set if there does happen to be a guaranteed champion for 150 Ancients next week, which with my tinfoil hat theory, I guess my sunglasses hat theory, I think is somewhat likely. But there you go. Void Yagash. Hope you enjoy those champions. Thanks for letting me pull shards in your account, and I hope you, the viewer, enjoyed watching as well. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.